Hello, Megan Dwyer, partner at Wardle. John Wardle is in the room, and I noticed a couple of team members up the back too. So this, of course, is a collective effort from our studio. I'll begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land upon which this building stands, the Wurundjeri people of the Victorian nation. Pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. So St Patrick's College Ballarat Performing Arts Centre. St Patrick's College sits on Sturt Street, which is the main throughway through Ballarat, quite a grand avenue, and the school sits with its tail end connecting to Victorian Park and not far from Lake Wurundjeri, so it really is in the heart of Ballarat. The school campus is characterised by these formal lawns that stretch across the length of the frontage to Sturt Street, and there are some significant red brick buildings along that frontage, and we'll see how we've contributed to that. This school has a really strong reputation for sport, and there's a number of AFL players who would credit their rise to the league to this school, so there's a very strong culture around sport. And consequently they do have a large gymnasium space, and this is the space that they had been using for gathering and assemblies, and so they would sort of shut down the sport activity, take a whole day to set the room up for assembly, and then unpack it once they'd had assembly, so they clearly needed another space. And they wanted to balance the sort of prowess in sport with theatre and music, and this is where the brief for Performing Arts Centre arose. And in fact, they gave Oliver as an example of what they would like to present in this building. You can see the building down here on the south edge of the campus, and you get that sort of pattern of built form across the front of the campus with those formal lawns before it. And really what we have here is a series of buildings that have sort of observed this sort of morphology over a period of time, starting in 1933 with Kennedy House, College Chapel in 53, and then the Performing Arts Centre in 2024. There's a sort of similar coloration and masonry material into that set of buildings. And so that sort of outlines, I guess, the brick formation and shows the courtyard that we've created between Kennedy House and the new Performing Arts Centre. So if you approach from Sturt Street, you pass across these lawns, and the building is to your left, and we've sort of enclosed a courtyard that acts as an arrival space when the building is in public mode. So again, as you approach, you can sort of see this courtyard unfold, and of course you can move from the side street through into the school as well. The building is clad in this ribbon of coloured stained precast concrete, and the ribbon is shaped to almost look like it will reference the folds of a curtain, and then the coloration matches the brick of the other buildings. This is from the side street, so it's quite a dominant form to the side street, but this is what allowed us to create the public spaces on campus around the building. Very simple plan. The plan is really built around the single large space, which has 800 seats in it. There's a green room and black box theatre at number 3, and that you can see that the back of house spaces are very sort of straightforward, and it's a very hard working plan where we get lots of spaces doing more than one thing. The loading is straight from the street and straight into the side of the building. 2-level building, so at the upper level we have a band room and a percussion room and a series of teaching and rehearsal spaces for one-to-one music lessons. Here is the building in 3 dimensions, and this animation shows the way that these key spaces sort of settle into those plans. So we have the large auditorium, we have the ensemble space, and then the band room and a percussion room at the upper level. Just look at that one again. So auditorium, ensemble space, band room and percussion room. Here we have the auditorium space. Again, a high priority for this building was to provide a space where the school could gather. So this is 800 seats. The the bottom section is sort of articulated differently to the upper section, and that the 600 odd seats sort of fold back into the wall, so that again this room can be used for multiple purposes. And here we just get some early glimpses of how the client is using the space. This is the ensemble room, and it has all the appropriate acoustic treatment to allow large music ensembles to perform in that space. Here is the tuba teacher assisting the acoustician in taking those acoustic readings on completion. Quite a cute photo. And then we see the room set up for various groupings and ensembles. This is a mixed mode space, and so those doors do open out to that courtyard that I was speaking of earlier. And in many ways, we sort of think of this acoustic experience of the campus just as much as a visual experience, and the sound of these sort of musical instruments or ensembles spilling out into the day-to-day life of the school is something that we did quite like. Here we are upstairs. There's Jenna looking out the Oculus window, and that sort of frames the Kennedy building and looks out over the courtyard. And here is the space complete and being utilised for a brass class, brass ensemble class. And that view there just shows the Oculus and the connectivity between that band room, the courtyard, and the Kennedy building. And we're delighted to see that this building really is doing what was intended. It's become a venue for coffee and conversations, which is a sort of parent-teacher moment. St Pat's Got Talent. It's been used by the school for well, I think if you consider the talent show and the School of Rock, it's working in a number of ways for the performing arts, but it is also being utilised by a community. The Ballarat City Youth Brass Band is kind of stepping into this building and engaging with school community that way. So it's become really quite an important space in Ballarat, and I think one thing with these regional schools is that the way that they connect with community is really important. So it's serving an important purpose for the school, but also for community. And I might leave it there.